I have a problem with everything I eat in a day content, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, this can be problematic for everybody, but especially for young people growing up in this pervasive influence of social media, or if you're struggling particularly with your relationship with food and your body. Now, while I'm always up for inspiration, food inspiration, recipe ideas, there is something that doesn't quite sit well for me when influencers, experts, or celebrities share in the media what they eat in a day. There is very much this narrative, like, eat like me and you will look like me, or you'll be healthy like me, or you can get well like I did doing this. But social media posts often show small, carefully curated, excessively filtered part of somebody's life. We don't really know what that person's relationship with food or their body is really like. And of course, what works for one person, and I say works with inverted commas, certainly doesn't work for all. And this is because we are all unique with our own health history, our biochemistry and genetics, and each and everybody has different requirements when it comes to food intake, nutrients and calories. Each person has their own food world growing up, their own body history, their own relationship with food and their body. And everyone's dietary needs are unique. So making comparisons is really very unhelpful. So what does it mean for those constantly absorbing these messages? Well, social media platforms particularly have become ubiquitous in our lives. I mean, they're everywhere, aren't they? And with them, the prevalence of everything I eat in a day posts has sort of soared. We see them everywhere. We don't just see them on social media, we see things in the newspaper, famously actresses like Jennifer Aniston, people like Gwyneth Paltrow, Victoria Beckham, all sort of sharing details of their very precise daily food intake, highlighting that they never ever deviate from this. So these posts are considerably influential. They are very much affecting our perceptions of food and body image and our well-being. And the problem with a lot of these there are a lot of myths and misconceptions floating around. Social media really creates this environment where we're exposed to these representations, but there's very often a focus on diet and exercise. And this content can be very misleading and very detrimental, especially for individuals who are struggling already with an eating disorder or disordered eating. I have noticed with many of my clients how the myths have become almost about food, have become almost deeply held beliefs about things, about food, about portions, about calorie intakes. An example I can think is about bananas. I've come across this with many clients where they have a problem with eating bananas, and it's often where it's come from is these myths that have evolved from social media. But it also can create a lot of anxiety, guilt and shame for those individuals that already face daily challenges in managing their relationship with food. So these posts can really exacerbate those feelings. And it's important to highlight that this content can really trigger sort of past trauma or reinforce negative thought patterns if they are struggling with this, and leading to quite a lot of emotional distress. It can really also promote low self-esteem, because often it leads to perhaps you're questioning your own food choices and your self-worth, feeling inadequate in comparison, and this can spiral into that kind of vicious cycle of low self-esteem and self-doubt. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your eating habits, your body and your lifestyle to those portrayed in the posts that you're seeing on social media. And of course, many What I Eat in a Day posts do promote restrictive diets. I mentioned a few celebrities before, And it can seem very harmful. It can be very harmful and can be a contributing factor to disordered eating and eating disorders. So what can you do about it? Well, if you do want to stay on social media, it's quite hard to get away from, but even within the media, what you can do is looking at the content that you see with a critical eye, a newly critical eye. Think about who is posting the content and what they are trying to promote from that content. If it's particular celebrities or influencers, not that I'm Gwyneth bashing, but Gwyneth has a well-being brand that she is promoting. So just think about who's promoting that. If these things are triggering you or driving that unhelpful thinking about your eating, then do block these social media accounts or unfollow them. But you can also start to create a more helpful feed. So start to follow accounts from creators of all body sizes and ages and races, etc., who promote body neutrality, acceptance, and perhaps non-diet or anti-diet approach, to talk about, perhaps they're talking about eating disorder recovery if you are, if you have recovered or going through recovery at the moment. So you can try and create curate your feed so that it is a lot more helpful, so that what you're seeing is going to be a positive reinforcement rather than causing you more harm. But also to focus on the foods. What feels good in your body? What's unique to you? How does the food feel good? What does your body need in order to feel satisfied? What food do you need? Now, this is something that you might struggle with. And if you need help with this, please don't forget to download my free guide, which is called Breaking the Cycle, it will give you 4 actionable steps that you can do to really help you tune into what your body needs, and help start you on that journey with a healthy relationship with food. I hope you found that helpful today, and I hope to see you soon.